back line and having just some of that CC, that javelin, to just be able to lock them down or stop that movement ability. Orion tries to charge you say that's cute, and you throw the javelin at them and stop them right in their tracks.
No, that is fair. And honestly, I would accept anything that stops the Reinhardt charge, because those things are... so many times I've played little Zenyatta just meandering around, and then out from a corner, I'm dead now. Oops.
I do actually, I'm glad you brought up the Zen, because that actually is kind of one of my favorite support picks to play, especially just to see also just in terms of competition, because when the Zen is brought out, if you've got a player that's adept enough, they're going to be basically a third DPS in their own right. Same kind of goes for Baptiste, but I think it's kind of a more flashy show with the Zen, because you charge up with the right click and then you just let them all release at once.
Yeah, and there's something about Zen specifically, just like how he's designed, and also, funny kick. I love the funny kick so much. As soon as that got announced and I started playing him, I was like, oh, I've got a new main. Because it's just so funny to isolate someone and then just kick them in the corner over and over and over again. Because like it's much faster than a Lucio.
So you're bringing out the Rocket strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I mean, it is Christmas time, so it is kind of in the thematic of the whole season.
Yeah, fair enough. It's just, I don't know. There's something so funny about bullying just one person specifically with the character that you usually would not expect to like solo in 1v1s, but Zen's got that usually, except unless if it's like a Reinhardt.
Well, normally the thing also with the Zen is it's just really great at capturing out a single target that you can just, if your team is well coordinated enough where you can call out your orbs of discord, then you can just melt anybody, which kind of goes back into what I was saying when you got that overzealous tank as well. You know, if he dives into the backline and your Zen is able to put that orb on him, that can make him a prime target. Do you know what else can make a tank a prime target if it has a lot of movement abilities? Hacking by our friend Sombra.
Of course.
It took a little bit of a break mid-season, but is back in the action with that hack ability, which can be very good at taking out certain choices that are just harassing your backline and supports a little bit too much.
Something about Sombra, I remember at the start of the game, I was so annoyed because every single game had one just because of how frustrating she was to deal with. And just like seeing her gone for a couple of weeks, I know that it was because she got less playtime because she got like a big nerf, but just like having no Sombra, it brought a little peace to my soul.
Okay, so we need to bring out an Orisa and a Sombra on one team. Dallin's dream team is forming before our eyes.
Do I need to bring out every single character that I have frustrations with in this game?
And then whoever picks that is going to win this match. I'm calling it.
All right. You know what? We do have the same map, right? No. No, we don't.
It's gone over to Gardens. My favorite. You see, everything works out in the end. All is as it should be.
I think I'm cursed.
All right, let's get to the action, see what's going to be brought out.
Capture the objective.
We are seeing, the Symmetra teleport as well being brought out by Fisher. They're going to make their way to the point first, but they smartly don't go for the window teleports. They're going to get to this choke point first, try to peel off that Orisa, who's way off to the side, far away from the other team. And the Falcons start circling more like vultures at this point. Whole bunch of cooldowns having to be spent to try to keep that Orisa alive, but it is only a matter of time. Now Northwood is going to have to reset as Fisher claims the point.
That was mean.
It was.
I mean, I don't even know what else to say. Just like seeing that Maywall go up, you just know. You just know it's over. You get locked in that little room. No one's there with you. No life mover to pull you back over. It's just, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you don't have him to bail out your decisions, but right now that makes every push that Northwood has, they're gonna have to very carefully decide how they push, because that Maywall like there can go up and split up your team. Vega bites the dust, Lukewarm gets the first pick, and then moving in, trying to make some room. The Orisa trying to pick up something here or there against Fisher, but the Falcons just aren't budging, and the escape route is gonna get blocked off as well with the wall. This May brawl composition, Fisher came to play with it.
Man, it's just, that wall has been devastating for them so far. It's very difficult to handle, and I think was the I can't tell if Northwood already had the Mei now or if it was there from the beginning. But if they're gonna want to turn this around, we're gonna have to see another good Mei wall from the side of Northwood to try and turn this around.
Well, they're using the cover right now. They were trying to move as a unit. Whole bunch of ultimates available for Fisher. They do get a good Mei wall onto the Reiner, trying to push him in, but one Mei wall deserves another, and a beat's going to go down by Fisher to try to keep the survivability up, as well as the photon barrier to keep the shields going. Blizzard was spent by Fisher College as well, and I was telling you how much I love that javelin, did I not?
You may have a point. You may have a point. I just never expected to see it on a frozen Lucio. Usually when you hit someone with a javelin, they fall off the map. They are still moving, you know? I mean, but just frozen, it just seems like you're just pushing them off.
Well, despite Mikey's best efforts, Rocket comes in with a double, keeping the point firmly in Fisher's territory, and that's going to be the first, possibly 3 claim for them. Northwood will have to win this next one to drive it to the full 3 control. We can just take a replay also at all the plays. I do have to wonder if they chose the one play you want to see again.
Please. Please give this to me. Thank you. All right, yep, hit him up. Bye-bye.
The way he slides off, too, just in the same position as well.
It's so perfect.
It is.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, production, for letting us relive that one last time. Well, off we go, and hey, we're back. So things are looking up. You got the replay you wanted, and we're back on your favorite stage.
We are so back. We are here.
Fisher already making their way up to server room with that teleport. Northwood's going to try to choose their route from here on out. They have brought out the Junkrat to lob a few bombs in this enclosed space, but right now they're just being shielded by the Rhine. Northwood rotates over toward the point, which unlocks in 5 seconds.
See a little bit of just Orisa trying to get whatever damage you can in, but it's just going to be kind of like a standstill.
This Junkrat here could fall victim to this car wash that's placed right under this.
Oh,
nice use of the mines. This Junkrat knows what's up. Whole bunch of damage being pushed onto Fisher now. Northwood as well, though. They had to spend their immortality field. Now Fisher spends theirs. We're having a bit of a tank battle right on the point. Window placed down by Fisher as well as Northwood. Damage increasing on the point, and Neb uses it to take out a Vega. Now Northwind is down one of their healers, and Fisher claims more territory. The Mei wall splitting off Mikey. Northwood has to spend their immortality field to keep him alive. And the resources are just dwindling for the Timberwolves as Fisher makes their way onto the point.
Mikey's gonna go down, and just like that, it is once again in the hands of Fisher.
Definitely is, and they also very crucially have a beat online, so any sort of, big damage that Northwood could push through, possibly with an ultimate, if that beat is timed correctly, it can give them a lifeline on out of there. Northwood goes charging in again. This is a little bit, their tank's way out there, and with the way this Mei wall's been, that was almost just asking for a wall to separate them. Those turrets being a bit of a pain right now. We need that Junkrat mine that we saw earlier to clear those out.
That car wash is so menacing.
All right, now Fisher, they have spent their beat as Sam uses his Riptire to take out Neb. Is it enough for Northwood to gain a toehold? They move on in. Still sitting on the Shatter, hopping up with the Flame Strike. The wall will be a miss, though, trying to lift the Rhine up.
They're going to take down Mikey, so it's just going to be a battle of the DPSs if they're able to take out this Rhine.
Oh! Vega not able to escape from the fight. Sam also getting elimination onto Rocket. Trades back and forth, and a very contested point. As more ultimates are spent, the photon barrier by Fisher. Mikey trying to keep alive on the point. He's going to be solo shattered on.
Wow.
My goodness, but the rest of Northwood now comes in for defense, able to get some revenge by taking Raker out. Saying, you're not going to shatter our tank and get away with it.
Poor guy didn't even get a chance.
But while this fight has been back and forth, the timer has been slowly ticking up in favor of the Falcons. Rocket also gets a pick onto Landon, and I think it just might be enough to allow Fisher to walk away with this. Mikey has to swap over to the Doom Fist, try to get back, takes a whole bunch of damage, and the Tracer doesn't let him get away. Beautiful play by Fisher. Northwood now is just trying to stall things out with this Lucio. They move on in. And Landon fighting back also. We could have two supports to bring it back. Nope, not the case. Nice effort, but the Falcons walk away with the win in round 1. And we'll get a chance to give a little bit of a shout out to a player in particular. Contributed most as far as the game's concerned. It's going to be Grapes as Lucio.
I love that. I love seeing Lucio play up the games. I don't know, I would pluralize that.
See?
Oh no!
Oh, that is the most perfect play of the game I have ever seen. That is beautiful. I could not have asked for it anymore. Oh man, the season is done as far as I'm concerned, okay? Nothing's going to be able to top that. That is actually the play of the game. Officially, the play in the game will now and forever of frozen Lucio sliding off into the water.
I mean, that's a play from both sides.
I know, both sides can be honored in that play.
That's amazing.
Well, as back to the actual game that we have, Fisher takes the win on the first stage, and then we'll move on toward Hybrid, which has been just basically one of two options throughout this whole season. It's been either Eichenwald or King's Row, because Eichenwald's kind of become King's Row 2.0 a lot in the recent season.
We saw a lot of really, really good tank isolation from the side of the Falcons. Just over and over again, there was just hardly any chance for Mikey to try and take back any of the fight, because it was almost instant on a couple occasions. Man.
Yeah, and there were multiple times where I saw that their Orisa was just way out there as a tank, constantly getting peeled off, and whenever that tank got peeled off, either your tank is going down, which since you only got one in Overwatch 2, you never want to be the case, or you're having to spend some really important cooldowns like that Immortality Field from the Baptiste. So not a good scenario either way.
Not at all. And I want to point out one small moment, and that was the Junkrat using the mine to take out the car wash. The common joke that I've always had is you don't need a brain to play Junkrat, but that proved to me they at least have one brain cell, because, wow. I mean, if you put me in a situation like that, I'm just going to keep trying to shoot, like, my grenades at it. But, man, I can't believe it. I'm sorry. I have an internal...
Oh, my goodness. Talking about can't believe it, we are actually going to... You know, this particular Hybrid stage has a bit of infamy in a Star League. If you remember, throughout this season, Boise State had a rather embarrassing moment here on this, where a particular Winston just started juggling one of their players in the air with a Primal Rage. I'm not sure if we'll see that in this stage as we go over to Parisio, but I'm very excited, because this is one of the trolley stages, and you know that I like the trolleys.
Can I give a little bit of a hot take? This is one of my favorite maps.
Oh, nice. I always like to have different opinions here.
It's one of my favorites, and you want to know why?
Let me guess. It's probably for some aesthetic reason, which has absolutely nothing to do with the gameplay.
It looks pretty.
It does look pretty. Well, I just mentioned I like the trolley stages, so I'm hardly in a position to judge you for your taste. On pure aesthetics alone, yeah, this is a very fun stage, but it's also a very wide and spread out stage, and there's just tons of room for longer range heroes to go. They also have a tendency to see a Torb on the first point here. You place that turret back in the corner, just kind of guard there, and you've got... you got a very tough choke point to push through in your first outing as you're going on an attack.
Absolutely. It's just that first choke point. That's one of the hardest ones to actually conquer and get through. It's rough, but once you're able to get through that, that's when things get really interesting.
And we certainly haven't been stranger to just complete holds at that first point as well. We kind of have expected normally, which our expectations have been thwarted many of times this season, but we normally expect to never really get in the club as well, because not only you got to deal with that tough choke point, but then the second stage, as Boise State learned in their match about a month or two ago, when that opposing defending team controls those high points, controls those rooftops, taking the first right turn out of the spawn point for the payload, then yeah, that can also be a really tough thing to dislodge.
Yeah, when I play this map, I primarily play Reaper, which I don't know how that plays into the meta or anything, but I like it purely because of how many different directions you can go through to get around. Like you can go all the way to the left up the stairs to get around. You can kind of sneak your way around to the right. I like that there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of surround and kind of attack from the back end. I don't know. I really enjoy doing that.
Well, another interesting thing you got to consider is that it is loser's choice in terms of who picks the stages. So this was Northwood's decision. Maybe they have practiced a map that we don't see quite as often as Eichenwald and Kings Row, have some sort of sneaky strategy they want to pull out. We've seen that be brought out a few times on Nace Star League, just these wide out there picks that no one is expecting, and then the team rocks it.
It just looks so pretty. I don't know. I like the colors. I like seeing the very bright pinks.
I very much appreciate your razor sharp insight on this.
It's fun to look at, and that equals fun to play. That's how it works for me. I'm sorry, but it's facts in my head. In my head, it's factual. If it looks pretty, it's probably really fun to play.
Well, now we see where most AAA devs get their audience, but moving on right now, we have to get to the actual hybrid point, which it has normally has been Control Hybrid Escort, before Overwatch 2 came out and we had this whole shakeup, but now I'm really glad in a Star League we've got this new lineup of we're for sure going to see Flashpoint, might see Push coming out, and we haven't seen too much of Escort, actually. I think the 2 times I remember Escort being chosen, well, it hasn't been 2 times, actually. I remember a few more, but it's been normally Circuit Royale or Route 66 that's been brought out. Circuit Royale, I wouldn't advise. Every time a team has chosen Circuit Royale, it has ended in disaster.
That map is very, very, very interesting. Man.
Is it pretty to look at?
That is true. It is pretty to look at.
Okay.
It's not quite as nice to look at as Parisa, but this is a completely different ballpark, I kind of like Route 66 aesthetic more, and that means it's a better map. So.
Okay. I mean, it is a great setting.
Yeah, it is.
Had one of the best cinematics placed on it as well.
True.
That was when we got introduced to Ash. Those were the days, weren't they?
I still can't get through my head the cinematic, the cutting of the pie. Oh man, it looked so pretty when they did that. It looked so nice, and then they tease Echo at the end. That was, man, different times.
Different times. I feel so old now. Let's get down to the actual setting where we can judge by if Northwood chose to attack first. Yep.
5.
Well, actually, they didn't choose to attack first. Fisher, by not choosing this map, gets choice of what side they want to pick first. So they'll defend.
On your toes and ready to go.
Excuse me, Northwood will defend as Fisher goes on to attack.
I always love to see a little Echo gameplay. It's always fun. It can be annoying to deal with, but I do enjoy playing as
Ooh, a
Echo.
dive in by that Winston
Yeah,
just
that was-
immediately pays dividends against Northwood.
Oh, he's already over there. Okay. Good luck. Well, actually, I can't quite tell. Yeah, all right. Never mind. Yeah, you're gonna need good luck again. You're gonna need good luck. I thought he was instantly dead, but they just keep giving him so much heals. He's becoming a force.
Hit
to
him with
deal
the sleep dart, give him a bit of time, but there is no follow-up to that to mow him down, so now he has free reign again. That is record time that payload has been taken. So this almost seems like it's been serendipitous to what we've been talking about earlier. We've got a very overactive tank who's just going wherever they please, is completely decimating your backline.
Yep.
You do have one way to fight that. We did see the sleep dart, but there was no follow-up after that.
Yeah, we've got to see some kind of, I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm going to Reaper because I play Reaper on this map, but you've got to have something to stop this Winston.
Either in a hack or maybe you can just orb him down. It's a tough thing, but I mean, this allows him to get up into those rooftops.
Oh no.
Echo's being pushed back as the payload slowly moves forward.
I'm going to see the Nano go out and sleep, but
yeah. I mean, the Brig can tough it out, and now we've got a whole bunch. Once they're able to just get that target focus down and push everyone onto that Winston, time to cost.
Bit of a Tana showdown. Undecided.
Efficient design at work.
Potential use of ult from Mikey. He does have it now. There it is.
That'll start things off for this fight. Primal Rage taking out the Brig. They might be finding their footing against Fisher. They pick up 2 more to drive Fisher down to just 2. Their tank who can't do much, and the payload's too far forward, so too risky to move on up. So this is going to have to just be a soft reset.
Well, in terms of ults, we are going to see Echo, Brig, and Sojourn. Well, I mean, this could go either way. Both teams do have 3 ults.
One of those ults is going to be spent. Bob comes out onto the field. We also see the copy being brought out by the Echo onto the Ana. So we could have a nano boost be brought out very soon here. Interesting choice, but Fisher is doing so well anyways that, okay.
All systems on optimal
You know what?
levels.
If it works, it works.
My ultimate is charging.
And now the copy wears off, so we won't be seeing any nano boost shenanigans, but one fight is good enough for Fisher as they're moving on to the 3rd and final part of this stage. Northwood starts things out with their Echo, getting rid of Fisher's tank, and then Brig will be next up on the menu. They all start falling for the Falcons and another reset. But, crucially, checkpoint is captured by them, so they've got north of 4 minutes.
It's been like, I don't even think it's been like a full minute that Northwood has had a complete handle on the current objective.
Landon sitting on this nano boost. Try to use it
Nano
on
boost is ready to deploy.
whoever he thinks is going to be able to use it best. I mean, you put it on Mikey, put a bunch of damage. We do see nano boost going on to tanks a lot as well. Could have extra confidence in your Sojourn to pop off. Right now, Mikey gets the first pick. Sam picks up a double against Fisher. Not even having to use the nano boost in this part, but Lukewarm also with the dynamite is managing to be a bit of a pain in Northwood's side, but not enough for Fisher to keep pushing through. And Anti also went on to 2 of the Falcons, so just forces them to stay back. Primal Fury by the Winston brought out, trying to jump into the back line, pick up one of these supports, immediately gets hit with the sleep dart.
These sleep darts have been on point, like, the entire game. I don't think I've seen, like, one miss.
Oh, the dynamite in midair to try to take out the Echo. I don't think it landed. That's a split-second decision if I have ever seen one.
In an alternate universe, it worked, and it worked flawlessly, and it was beautiful to watch.
Well, we're in the universe where we got the frozen Lucio, so I can't complain too
You know what? I think we won. This is the best universe we could have gotten.
Moving in though, just trying to get a bit of poke damage against Fisher. We've gotten halfway to the final checkpoint with about 2 minutes left.
So some full spawn could do something a little sneaky.
certainly seems like they're waiting for it.
Yep.
Oh, and this Ashe, if they don't look, there's the wrong way. Pulse bomb. Not thrown out by Northwood, still holding on to it. There it goes, and it's gonna pick up Neb. That's a good target to get. They got their main healer out of there. Gonna mean Fisher needs to pick up something very soon to try to turn this around. They are able to get Haven, but there is a Winston just charging through, making Lukewarm's life a bit difficult, but not too difficult to still mow him down. A lot of damage pushed out by Rocket.
There was like a half moment in that mayhem where Lukewarm's HP went exactly to 1, and then it went up back to 50. It's just so close.
Yeah, that's about as close as you could possibly get to hanging on. Northwood down by 2. Fisher in a position where it looks like they could possibly pick this up. This long range from the Ashe is going to have to come in clutch. So many long sight lines here, just trying to get some damage here and there against some of Northwood's squishies or even their tank. Bob will be brought out by Fisher to make this a 6v5. Mikey is the first to fall. That's absolutely huge for the Falcons. The Tracer has to recall on out of there. Raid boss mode has been brought out with the rally, giving Fisher even more to work with. And that is a primal rage that is paying dividends. A triple for Fisher to claim the 3rd and final point. They'll get the full 3. Put all of the pressure on Northwood now to deliver.
I think we just upplayed the game right there. That feels like a pretty strong contender. Those last 10 seconds, that was brutal.
Did you learn nothing from game 1 in predicting player of the game, that we can be surprised?
You know what? Yeah, it's going to be someone on the other end, and they're going to get absolutely obliterated by Winston, all right? Who knows? Maybe they'll pull out the double May, double Lucian. We'll get a magical moment. Done all over again.
Recaptured, you want lightning in a bottle twice?
Hey, if we did it once, that just means we can do it again.
But where are we going to push the Lucio off of? This doesn't have as many environmental opportunities.
We make our own it's like there's a little bit on like the edge, like a little tiny bit, but
there's a lip there.
There is a lip, true. I just don't think it's quite enough, and off the side, I don't think they're gonna pull out the May Lucio.
See, there's the lip right there. See, you can't
exactly,
just push Lucio off there.
Let's do it right there.
Unless you parkour on top of the picnic table, which you're frozen, so I don't know how much you parkour to get there, but
3,
you can have a dream.
1.
Yeah, I can have a dream.
Incoming. Defend objective.
It's like both are gonna be pretty much bar for bar what they were in the previous fight.
Sam taking a whole bunch of damage from Northwood, has to duck back behind the sideline. Still taking a bit of poke damage from that Winston. Diving down. Haven bites the dust. Mikey gets a pick on to Raker, and I think trading a DPS for a tank, just because of how important that tank is, Northwood will be happy to make that trade and move on to the actual point. Grapes falls, and very much like Fisher College, takes the payload in record time.
Oh, is gonna get jumped by the Echo from behind. It's just back and forth. Winston fight. Winston wins.
Extra support needed.
I'm very glad to see that you're going out on a limb with these predictions.
I am so good at predicting. I've never been wrong.
Well, now the payload is captured, and look at that, north of 5 minutes from Northwood to get to the next checkpoint. Fisher is going to have to get it together for the second part of this map, and Anti's going to be thrown onto Northwood's tank. That'll keep him at bay for just a little while they wait for it to wear off. Now they're back, making so much room for themselves, pushing this Winston to the other side of the playfield. But with that tank, even though they were able to peel him off to the other side of the playfield, their DPS was still doing damage to Northwood, was able to take out Landon. They trade by Rocket being eliminated.
Sam does have his full. Quit moving on this Winston. Now he's gonna sneak up a little closer, trying to find someone special.
Full bunch of ultimates being held on by Northwood. Fisher College also pretty even terms of what's available to them. Even in the eliminations as well, it's a 1-for-1 trade. 2 DPSs, one from each team will go down right as the copy is brought out and just immediately canceled by Raker. Mikey right now is using that Primal Fury to only pick up Neb. It's not enough to stop the overall damage that Fisher is pushing out.
Man. 4 minutes. Definitely. Oh, wow. Wow. Ash showdown. Undecided yet again. Looks like they've, instead of going straight towards the point, looks like they're going to go by a little 2x3 strategy around the side. Maybe even call it 4. Looks like they've got, yeah, they've got Riker isolated, but he did leave. He's gone now. He's going back in. Just in and out, trying to help from the other side of the rooftops. Holding this spot. You're gonna be. Oh, is that both sides? Oh, not quite. Echo in the air. Mikey almost out of the fight, but is gonna get healed up yet again.
Gotta hand it to Fisher. They've taken about 2.5 minutes off of Northwood's time bank, so they're basically halfway there in terms of how much time they need to hold. Taking advantage of all the high ground that these rooftops give. Mikey hanging out, but immediately pushed back by that Brig. But Sam doing work as the Echo creates an opening for Northwood so they can move forward. Meanwhile, the rest of Fisher is all split up, but Raker and Rocket still managed to take out Haven and Landon. So now it's a 2 trade back and forth. And
going back in.
The payload is still pushed forward, so they are gaining a bit of territory off of this, but my goodness, that Ashe is just a 1-person army right now.
Absolutely. Oh, copy on it yet again.
You know, the copies haven't really been working.
No, they have not, but hey, it is what it is.
Diving in, this Winston is going right after that support. They're not going to let that happen. That creates Raker moves in on very low health. You have to wonder about that move because now the rest of the team has to fight, but this Ashe is shown, as soon as I say, it's shown that, hey, they're fine with or without their tank. They're just going to throw out their dynamite, land a few headshots here and there, and take care of business.
There we go.
Boom!
There we go.
Triple for Lukewarm, who's anything but right now, is on fire.
He's on fire. He's lying to us. His name means
To lull us into a false sense of security.
That's a next level strategy I've not quite seen yet.
She's gonna blow!
Using your name to lie in game. Wow.
We have had a few people who have names like Zarya main or something like that, and then they don't pick Zarya, so.
Yeah. Those people are very.
Oh my goodness, this is another dive in by Mikey, and that's good enough to dislodge Lukewarm. I'd say if there's someone you want to take out, it's him. That's a crucial target picked off by Northwood. Question is, can Fisher hold for just long enough to prevent this checkpoint from being taken? They're taking so much territory for themselves with this Primal Rage that Mikey is able to clear off that checkpoint, give Northwood another 2 minutes to make it all the way to the end.
I mean, the situation, it's looking about 50-50, I'd say, either way.
Now, with still 5 minutes solid that was held by
yeah,
Fisher.
absolutely, yeah.
Taking care of
That defense was, Ashe.
Oh, a lot of pressure being placed on Haven right now.
Uh-oh.
Slowly, this Winston is moving in to dislodge them from their hiding spot. Dart is placed off onto the Winston, but I think he's still behind his shield, so he'll live to fight another day.
I'm not quite able to make it up to the bridge. Just gonna chip damage this Ashe a little bit.
Sam picks up a nice double onto Grapes and Neb. With both the supports gone for the Falcons, the others are falling. This Winston needs to get out of there, isn't able to. Gives more over to Sam. So Fisher probably needs to win about 2 team fights here against Northwood to be able to claim victory. Otherwise, we will be heading into OT. Rally spent to start things off. Moving in, Raker is just trying to do damage in the backline. Gets hit with the sleep dart, but isn't focused down. It is able to survive, but while he was asleep, Rocket and Nev are eliminated. Bob will be brought out to try to even the odds. Takes out Haven, but I don't think it's enough to stop Northwood right now.
Oh, not quite.
They will be able to get toward the final point unless it is contested. I mean, the respawn is close enough that I think Fisher can re-engage, and they will have the Primal Rage to spend as soon as that Winston gets back.
As well as the potential on a Nano on top of that as well. It's
Mikey,
just-
where
never mind.
was that, everybody? Where was... Winston was way over there trying to get the other team's back line, but that poor Ana had no one come to back him up.
It's just, he's taking these 1v1s, just absurd.
Oh, now we got a slap fight.
Here we go.
This is the quality content I came to see.
I love it.